can you tell us what it was like shooting your courtroom cameo in the Trial of the Incredible Hulk?
Oh my God. You remember that? You must have been a year old.
No.
The Hulk used to be a television series, and I had a cameo in one of the episodes where the Hulk was under arrest. He was in the courtroom. How they got him there, God. And I was foreman of the jury, so I'm in this jury box. And they had this scene where the Hulk gets very angry, goes over to the jury box, and he lifts up the whole jury box with the 12 jurors sitting in it. Now, obviously, it was done, the thing was built on a hydraulic lift, and and he only lifted it that far. He bent down like that, ooh, and he lifted it like that. Well, the directors had told us, when the thing is being lifted by the Hulk, to jump out of the jury box in fear and terror. We were supposed to be taken. So all the jurors were supposed to jump out and run away. Okay, so I was the foreman. I was sitting at the end. And the Hulk started lifting that, and I started to get out. And suddenly the director, Bill Bixby, yelled, "Cut!" And everybody said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Well, Stan can't jump out of there." He said, "Of course I can." I wasn't as old as I am now. I could have done it now. He was that high. I said, no, Stan is not a member of the stuntman union. And I had to be replaced by a stuntman to jump that high. And anyway, so that's the story. And I never put any trouble with the rest of that. Yeah, you didn't know I was such a good jumper. Yes, what?
How'd you get the idea for Captain America?
I didn't. The question was, how did I get the idea for Captain America? I didn't. It was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. That was the first script they were doing when I came to work there. They left after a while, and I took it over and I wrote it, but I'm sorry to say I did not create it. Another idol has fallen. Any other? Yes, sir.
What's the most difficult decision you had to make at Marvel when you were editor?
The most difficult decision I had to make? Gosh, I don't even remember. They were easy, because nobody ever questioned me. I could do I'm like a little dictator. So there wasn't anything difficult. Oh, maybe, seriously, maybe having to fire some people at times. Sometimes my boss, the publisher, would say, "You know, Stan, the books aren't selling as well as they should." This was before. I never had to do this after we did the Fantastic Four, and we had all those heroes. But before, the years before, we had times when things weren't that good. And my publisher would say to me, "Stan, you got to let a few people go." And these people were all friends of mine. We had worked together for years, and lunch together and went out together. That was the toughest thing, when I had to let employees go. But as far as the books themselves, there were no difficult decisions. I always felt I was right with whatever I decided, so I just decided it and did it, and that went on to the next thing. Are we finished?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm very impressed with you, sir.
And you should be.
What I'm curious about is, do you feel it was a gift from maybe acting out every scenario, because you're so quick with your responses? Or is it from maybe being developed by knowing what the story is going to end up as before you write it? It's like, what come first? Were you the genius, or did it develop?
You notice you were speaking so flatteringly that I didn't interrupt you. You want to know, I'm not sure I understand, but you want to know if I know how the story will end when I start?
Yes, or how have you developed to where you're so, like, when someone asks you a question, have you ran the scenario of what you would say in your mind to be as quick, or do you think
No, well, that's an interesting question. See, when I write a story, I try to think of something, as I said, that I would enjoy reading, but also I'm thinking what other people enjoy as too. So when someone asks me a question, I'm saying to myself, how can I answer it in the least boring way? And you try to do that. I could either say, yeah, I created that in the year 1937, next question, or I can make a little funny thing out of it.
Which we all
It's easier
enjoy.
to make a story, and also then I don't have as many questions. So it's really shrewdness and all that. And why did you walk in? Where were you? I needed you. This guy's my bodyguard. You're not supposed to be funnier than I am, despite that shirt.
Hey,